Welcome to week 6 in our online English 101 class. As always, I want to remind you that you are entering our course through courses and not trying to rely on the activity stream. Okay, as you enter our course, please make sure you are checking announcements for this week. There will be new announcements, and then go into your weekly assignments. In your weekly assignments, we are entering week 6. Everything from week 5 should be complete. Now, there was a major assignment due in week 5, so if you have gotten behind, make sure you go back and turn in that weekly assignment. And I'm going to clarify something about that in a moment, but let's talk about week 6. We have 2 readings here, and these are essential. These are the kind of writing that we are aiming for in our next essay. Which is argumentative writing, trying to make an argument supporting a view. There's an instructional video on writing argument essays, and we need to watch that as well. There is an argument essay quiz, and in order to succeed on that quiz, you need to have watched all 3 videos, please. There is a discussion board this week about your opinions. I'm asking you to do some specific things in this discussion board. So let's open it and take a look. All right, in your initial post, which is due Wednesday, I ask you to choose 3 quotes from the article you agree with. Those are the articles that I told you you needed to read earlier, those links. These quotes should be statements that represent why you agree with the article. Put each quote inside quotation marks and put the paragraph number in parentheses at the end of the quote. After each quote, please explain why you chose this quote and why you agree with it. In responses to peers, you are to respond to 3 peers' posts. Remember, this is half of the assignment, okay? And when you don't respond to peers, the highest you can get is, I think, like a 6.25 if your post was excellent and you don't respond to peers. So make sure you are responding to peers in discussion boards. Please choose one of the quotes they used. If you agree with it, add another reason you find this quote valuable to supporting your side of the argument. If you disagree with it, please explain why, perhaps using a quote from the other article. So you are asked to either add another reason you find the quote valuable or debate it with a quote from the other article. So I don't want to see posts saying, yeah, that's a great quote. It might be a great quote, but you're supposed to be doing some analysis here that's supposed to be building your ability to analyze these quotes before we start writing about them, okay? Warning, I really want you to be respectful in your disagreements, please. Be respectful in the words that you choose and the tone you use, and refrain from any name calling or stereotyping. Please always remember there's a person with a heart and a spirit on the other side of your screen. And don't say anything you wouldn't say to somebody's face, someone who's like bigger and tougher than you. So just don't troll anyone in English class, please. That's not who you want to be. And I don't know, it's never happened. Be nice. Continue to be what I'm used to with Lawson students who are nice and respectful and can disagree with respect and honor the other person's point of view. Okay, that's our discussion board. The quiz, as I said, requires you to have read these 2 essays, to have read these 2 essays and watch this video. So make sure you've engaged with those before you take the quiz. The midterm, I am not going to open. You have to have a password to open this midterm exam. The password will be provided to you by your proctor in Proctoru. Proctoru must be used for this exam. And if you are one of those folks who in week 1 told me that you didn't have the kind of computer that you need for Proctoru, this is the week when we expect you to have sorted that out. Please reach out to me if you haven't, and I'll do my best to help you, but that should have been sorted out in week 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But leaving it to be sorted out here in week 6 is not the best studenting I've ever seen. If you're in that boat, please reach out and I will try to help you. The earlier you reach out, the more time I have to help you solve the problem. Okay, making sure that you are knowing how to get to ProctorU. You can simply go to the Start Here menu and you should have your link to ProctorU right here. ProctorU Readiness and ProctorU General Information in the Start Here menu is where you get to ProctorU from our Blackboard class. Of course, you are also welcome to Google ProctorU. And if you have any questions about that, you can email me, although if it's a problem with ProctorU, you're going to have to resolve it with ProctorU. I am not a proctor on ProctorU. I don't work for ProctorU, and I don't know how to solve those problems. So make sure that you are using the ProctorU live chat if you're running into trouble. Once again, the Start Here menu contains your ProctorU information for the week. And then in week 6, you have the midterm itself. In week 5, I'm just going to back up and remind you of a few things. You did have an overall review for the midterm in this video from week 5 and some information about it. And there is a midterm information in week 5. This was your review for the exam. So if you missed it, please back up and read that information about the midterm from week 5. Okay. I've had a couple of emails with students who are telling me that they didn't get Criterion in time to do it, and can they just submit their final essay without it? And then do the Criterion later. And they're missing the point of Criterion. Criterion is there to help you edit before you turn in your final draft. And if you've turned in a final draft without having used Criterion, as far as I'm concerned, you've turned in a final draft that hasn't been edited and is not ready for an instructor to see. So no, your essay is now late and you need to get and use Criterion's feedback before you submit that final draft. We went over that last week. It is required. I went over how to use Criterion effectively in week 5. And I required you, I'm just going to remind you because I love you so much, I required you to start purchasing that Criterion code in week 1 so that it could be delivered to you by week 3, so that you would have weeks 4 as a buffer and be able to use it in week 5. And if that just didn't happen for you, this is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where you need to figure out how to hustle and get it signed up and get using it so that this now late major assignment can come in having used Criterion this week. Late essays from week 5 will be accepted until the end of week 6, and then I won't be accepting them anymore. As always, in week 6, I will be grading week 5 work and late week 4 work. If you have late work from week 3, 2, or 1, for that, you do need to show me documentation and let me know which assignments I need to go back and look, because I don't make a regular practice of going back more than 1 week for late work. All right, I am on your side. I know that this is the time where I'm having to enforce a lot of our department policies, in particular that policy on Criterion use. But I am on your side, and I hope to help you be able to solve those problems. We do have a late work policy that should allow you to get it in late, but it is required by the department, and I don't have any wiggle room to make it not required for some students just because they didn't hustle and get their code in time. So reach out if you need help. And I am here to help you. Make sure you've signed up for ProctorU. There is a fee for signing up very late that Lawson does not cover. That's why I asked you to sign up for it last week. Make sure you're hustling on that. Just a reminder, if you sign up for a if you sign up for a ProctorU session that is after I have logged out for the week, you may not have access to my help if something goes wrong with ProctorU. So make sure you are aiming for those early in the week assignment spaces. Reach out if you need help. Thank you.